Hello and welcome to episode 5 of the last 7, a not so philosophical look at the last 7 days. I'm your host Dan Rowley. With me today, Kenneth Trainer.
Yeah!
And special guest, Gareth Morgan. How's it going?
Yeah, good, thanks. Yeah, thanks for having me.
No worries, man. Gareth is here because Justin is in America. Skyped him earlier today. Everybody's doing fine, guys.
All right, you didn't tell me that.
Oh.
Well, I suppose you meant to tell me now.
Yeah, that's right. No, I was saving it for just now. I spoke to them earlier. Everything's fine. Having a great time. It's fucking boiling. And their first show is tomorrow.
Oh,
so best of luck, guys. It would have happened tomorrow, Thursday. You'll probably hear this Sunday if you're not too busy. Well done, or commiserations, depending on how it fared.
Yeah. We could be talking about. Thank God they went with that good health insurance. You know.
That's right.
Hopefully not. I'd say, but it could be. You know. I mean, who'd have thought Tone would go on a rampage like that and kill those guys? You know? God.
Whereabouts in America are they now?
San Diego.
Oh, it's brilliant, isn't it?
Which, of course, we all know means a whale's vagina.
Right.
So, yeah, hello to everybody.
Does it really?
No, of course not. It's from Anchorman, you fucking idiot.
Oh, so it is, yeah.
Yeah, I've known Gareth for a good few years now, man. Goes out with a friend of mine called Karis. And recently we met up and spoke about doing this podcast because he sold me, that's how good of a friend he is, sold me some tickets to go see a live recording of another podcast that we love called Hollywood Babylon with Kevin Smith and Ralph Garman.
Yeah, awesome podcast.
Everybody here has seen it, so I thought it was going to be like a talking point, but I think it might be saturated somewhat. So how was the London one?
London one was really good. It was quite similar to the Birmingham one from the recording I heard on the way up.
Yeah.
But seeing it live was it was a different aspect to it. It was really good. I didn't realise Kevin Smith danced around as much as he did while doing some of the parts that they do. But yeah, it was good fun. We were fortunate enough to hang around afterwards for 2 hours.
2 hours?
Yeah, 2 hours for them to drive past us. And then, fair play, there was only 10 of us left waiting after 2 hours. So they drove past us, saw us, and then they sort of doubled back round. They both got out the van.
Oh, right, sweet.
That's really nice.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh, you didn't tell me that bit. You just said that you met him afterwards. That was cracking.
Yeah, it was really good. I had a couple of comic books that he wrote with, and got Walt Flanagan to do the artwork for.
The Batman ones.
Brilliant.
And I went to the Secret Stash last year because I had Cacophony. And I bought the Winding Gyre, and Walt signed them and did a little drawing in each one, a little sketch of Batman.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, it was good. And Kev signed them last night.
That's
really cool.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
I also got a comic book signed. I got the first issue of Batman 66, penned by Ty Templeton, Ralph Garman, and Kevin Smith. There was a bit of a crowd around Kev Smith as he was getting into the car, but he was happy to sign my thing. He said, hold on to it. Gave it to his missus then, who gave it to Ralph, who then signed it. It was the best.
So he was in the car, wasn't
he?
Yeah.
It was the best trip, man. It turns out as well, Birmingham's actually quite nice. Nostalgia Comics. If anybody's ever in Birmingham, go to that comic book shop. It's absolutely brilliant. Downstairs, loads of merch, bobbleheads, figurines, graphic novels. What else was down there?
Loads of stuff. That guy bought that big 3-foot Terminator doll.
It was like a quarter-sized Terminator.
Massive.
65 quid or whatever. This guy was also wearing a pair of trainers that had individual toes in them. This guy was loaded. So it was full of money. He looked really, really loaded.
Yeah.
Freshly shaved head.
Cool.
Sound of the police. Yeah. He bought this massive figurine. Had a bit of a chat to him about the new RoboCop and that, which I haven't seen. So gave me a good insight. Said that it was shite.
I've heard it's really good when they do that bit where he actually gets to see inside the suit and see what his body's like and stuff.
Oh, no way.
That's pretty cool. But apart from that, I haven't heard much else. I haven't heard anything.
A friend of mine said every fan would have gone to have seen that film if they had one bit in the trailer. And that's the guy from the TV show in the original RoboCop who says, "I'd buy that for $1." Just had to have him at the beginning or at the end. Everybody would have gone, right, that's it, I'm doing it. It brings us on nicely, man. That was my best thing of the week, really, going to see Babylon. Also, Tortoise Town downstairs is now fully functional.
That's probably mine because I knew you were going to talk about Babylon. I thought that was really cool. We now have 4 tortoises living downstairs from us.
2 big uns. They're 85 or something years old.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
One small one who's about 30 odd, and then a little one
Oh, right. Oh, so I thought you meant the little one.
No,
Wisteria.
How's the little one?
I've
She
no
reckon,
idea.
well, the owner, who's actually my landlady, reckons that it's about 10. And it's tiny. I didn't know that they just grew and grew and grew and grew. But yeah, it's really, really small.
I've heard a rumour, apparently you can count the... on their shell, they've got little ridges on their shell.
If you cut a turtle in half, count the ring.
Count the ring.
Yeah. Well, it's a similar thing, kind of.
Similar thing,
Like
but the
to-
tortoise remains alive.
Yeah.
They're really cute. I didn't know how enamoured I'd be with the tortoises. I knew they would be cool, because I've never been in such close proximity to them, but I didn't know they'd be that cool and cute.
Yeah, they're awesome. I've got a tortoise as well.
Oh!
Called Bortoise. Imaginative name there. But, yeah.
Good.
Tortoise. The tortoise.
Yes. But yeah, if they go on their back, it's actually really dangerous. You've got to try and get them over as quick as you can. Because the way their bodies are, if they're on their back, all the weight of their organs actually falls back on themselves.
Jesus.
So it can
Oh.
actually start to crush them.
Fuck.
So although it's kind of funny to watch them do that for a couple
Don't
of
watch
minutes,
them for too long.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I'm still excited because of the cat and the tortoises. She doesn't seem interested in them until you're paying them some attention. Then she starts to make a lot of noise.
That's right, yeah, she's like a
Very
spoiled child.
jealous
Right.
cat. But I want to see them having little adventures, because I was saying this to a colleague in work who said, "No, they're not going to go on adventures, Ken. Don't be ridiculous. The best you get is if she climbs on its back and goes for a little ride."
Yep.
And that would be enough, wouldn't
Yeah,
it?
what the hell was she trying to play it down and go, the best you can hope for
How
is to have the
exciting-
cat sit on the back of a tortoise and have a ride on its back.
How
Imagine seeing
exciting would that be?
That would get more views on YouTube than all of these podcasts put together. Times a million, I reckon.
Yeah.
Psy would be done with that YouTube record. Have you heard that new song
No.
of his
No.
with Snoop Dogg?
Oh no.
It's called Hangover.
It's fucking terrible.
Yeah.
Really? I don't know why I'm so surprised.
No,
Really?
What was the worst thing that happened to you this week, Kenneth?
Been feeling a bit poorly.
What's the worst thing that's happened to you this week, guys?
I ordered a Domino's half and half, and I went for something I hadn't tried before, and something that I'd tried lots before, and I didn't like either half. So I was quite disappointed and surprised that Domino's just wasn't nice for the first time.
I haven't had a Domino's pizza in ages. They used to do those 50% off vouchers if you spent more than 50 quid.
Yeah.
So when I was living with Nick, actually, that's kind of our thing. We were like, look, if we're going to spend this money, we might as well spend £25. But add it up, but add it up to 50 on the menu, mate. That is too much food for what we get through it. Don't get me wrong, but that is too much food for for 4 people.
I like the image of you oh, that is just too much food. We're never doing that again. Then a week later,
Oh, yeah,
Domino's,
no. It
fancy
happened. It happened at least half a dozen times. Doing that thing, going, look, we should just get a pizza. You know what I mean? None of us can be bothered to cook. Just get a pizza. We'll be fine. If we're gonna spend 10 quid on a pizza, then for another £2.50 we could have all this food. We won't eat it. It'll go to waste. No, because we'll have it in the morning. Really? Pizza for breakfast?
Yeah.
We contemplated whilst having pizza for breakfast.
Yeah. No, it was weird. The half that I never tried before was something to do because the World Cup's on,
Right.
and all that stuff. And also I've got
The taste of Costa Rica.
yeah, that kind of thing. I can't remember what it was. It was some sort of Spanish something or other, but it was some sort of weird dried beef. But when it arrived, I was a bit suspicious already because it looked just really, when you get dry, dead sort of slugs, and that sort of weird, stringy, crumply ensemble that they have.
So some crap they found at the back, really.
It might well have
Slugs.
been,
Yeah. by the
Stuff
sounds
by
of
the
things.
bins, yeah.
yeah. But
Give
that
them,
was
give
all-
them that. Say it's the World Cup.
The other half was like a full house, I think it was, or something equally as decadent. But yeah, too much mushroom.
Oh, there's always one mushroom is too much mushroom. Mushrooms are fucking hanging.
I don't mind the
No, that's
mushrooms.
the thing. I didn't mind it. Normally, I don't, quite like a mushroom on the pizza, but I don't know.
Fungus, guys.
It's just too much.
Fungus. Same family as athlete's foot, the mushroom. You said about a taxi driver that you had? Oh no, what was the other worst thing? What was the guy in the hotel?
That was actually my hero.
Oh right, your hero of the week.
Yeah, in a.
Or you got a nomination rather for hero of the week.
When we were going up to London for Babylon, we were looking at hotels, and there was a hotel which was right round the corner from the station. So we figured, if we were to have a particularly late night, then it's only a literally 5-minute stroll to the station the next morning. You can have a bit more of a lie-in,
Sure.
instead of having to panic and negotiate the London Underground at like 8:30, 9 in the morning. So booked at this hotel, but we were looking at the reviews, which said that the staff were really rude.
Oh.
So we were like, okay, well, we could put up with that. It'll be fine, you know. So we went along, and we were getting quite excited on the way there, talking about like how rude this guy's going to be. See what happens. This could be quite fun. And to be fair, he did a sterling job. We turned up. I had my sort of reservation slip. Walked in. He just looked at us, didn't say anything. Went up to the counter. I put down the reservation slip. There was like a sort of window sort of thing with a little hole for you to just pass.
So was it a pretty nice hotel, or was that for protection?
I don't know. To be
It's
honest.
like one of those sort of Chinese restaurants you go into that looks like a bank.
Yeah,
It's like a wire mesh
Yeah,
and a little thing. Here's your food.
Yeah, it was kind of
Don't rob
like
us.
that. Yeah, less mesh, more glass, but yes, very similar affair sort of thing. So I sort of slid the reservation slip over. He straight away, without saying a word, just flung this register thing at me and a pen, and I just started filling in my details without knowing what's going on. And without him missing a beat, he literally just put his hand down, grabbed the reservation thing, slip that I'd given him, spun it round and just slammed his finger onto the bit that said I needed to pay the deposit up front. Again, without any words whatsoever from him. So I was like, right, okay, so I'm filling the form in, start sliding that across. He just chucks the card thing down for me to make the payment.
Sounds amazing.
Pop that in, put the money in, and then he just threw a map of London at me and a tourist guide type thing.
Now go away.
This is where you are.
Yeah.
That sort of thing, and didn't say anything and just sort of stood there, looked around a little bit, and then some other guy came from nowhere and just sort of stuck his head around the corner looking to check if we had any bags to carry. We were carrying everything ourselves, so
Yeah.
that's fine. And I sort of gathered up all the paperwork and so on, and he said, come with me, this other guy, and we just left. And the receptionist just stayed there again, just silent, just staring us out of the building, which was brilliant. We were really, really impressed with the level of rudeness. He didn't let us down at all. And that's why I put him forward as a hero.
Your anti-hero of the
Yeah.
week. I like it.
Could he actually speak?
I-
Did you hear him talk at any point? Because maybe he's not rude. Maybe he's
Oh yeah,
you
maybe
know,
it's
dumb.
maybe it's
Maybe he can't.
yeah. It's run by deaf, non-speaking people.
It might be.
And and everybody's gone that they were so rude. One of them spoke to me in absolute gobbledygook. It sounded like English, but it sounded like he was taking the mick.
Possibly.
Unbelievable.
Possibly.
My stay at the Great Western Deaf Hotel was sad from beginning to end.
Yeah, but like
No one
No
complained
music?
about the, no one complained about the noise though. So
the guy who showed us to our room was a little bit better, to be fair. He showed us how to use the key cards to get in.
Oh fucking hell!
And then,
Really above and beyond. This is how you get in. Now get in.
yeah,
Fuck
pretty
off.
much. And then he led us up about 3 flights of stairs or something. It felt like it was going on forever.
There is a lift, but I hate you.
Yeah. It was a bit strange. I was a bit concerned at first because he led us out of the reception, out back onto the street, and then just started walking, and we were just following this guy down the road. We didn't know where we were going. We assumed we'd be staying in the actual building.
Yeah, right. Okay.
It turns out we were led about 5-6 doors down the road, and then led into this place that was like a sauna. It was, but you know.
Was it a sauna? You'll be sleeping here. There's a lot of steam and naked Russians about.
But yeah, it was well. We got what we paid for, and we got what we expected, and beyond. Oh, that's one last thing as well. I forgot to say, the receptionist, after throwing all this stuff at me and not speaking to me, he had the nerve. This is what I thought was amazing. To sort of just throw a customer review slip to us. How did you rate your stay on arrival and all this sort of stuff? I just thought
That's so cool.
that was the icing on the cake.
Folding it into a paper aeroplane for ages. You just watching him intently. What the fuck's this guy doing? Just launching it straight into your eye.
Yeah.
Enjoy your fucking stay.
I'd have expected him to just set it on fire and then just blow the ashes into my face. But it was good.
Where he's like, just before he's licked his finger, drawn a cock on your forehead and blown the ash in your face. This guy is creative in his hatred. I'm like 5 out of 5 without question. Oh, he's just stay unique.
Yeah.
It's about cash.
Yeah.
So maybe they just realised that, right, we're in Britain, we don't tip, you're getting exactly what you pay for, which is not my service. I'm paid to be here and run the hotel. It's fucking difficult without trying to be nice to you cunts when you're walking in and out.
Should have had that on a sign.
Yeah.
As you walk in.
Couple of cool things I read in the news this week. A pet tortoise, speaking of tortoises, which we have been.
Brilliant.
Pet tortoise went missing from his home a year ago this week, and then was found in another garden less than a mile away. It actually read, pet tortoise on the run for 1 year, only travels 1 mile.
On the run.
On the run.
What was his crime? What had he done? On the run.
Maybe in this world, Shredder works for the police and has framed the turtles. Or the tortoises.
That's a good point. Jan is very passionate. They're not turtles.
Yeah, they are not.
Yeah.
It's a shame, really, because there was a rat in here the other day as well.
Yeah.
Serious. 4 tortoises downstairs, and then a rat nipped in. Only quickly, the cat fucking... She well got it.
Oh,
so
yeah.
we saw it running, and then saw the cat run after it. We heard... Eep! And then the rat ran back out again. And then she was on alert for ages, but I thought, that was nearly perfect. If I'd have gotten a photo, I could have easily just lied and said they were turtles.
You should get a little... What's Splinter wears? It's like a
kimono.
Yeah, you should get a little one ready on standby.
It is a pink kimono. Let's be honest here.
Well, make it more visually. You
Pink
can follow them around a bit more.
Pink looks good on rats.
That's true. Yeah, they've got pink noses, pink hands.
Yeah.
Really, you can't go better for a colour match than pink on a rat. Apart from white on rice, which is a phrase that people use. I'll be on you like white on rice.
Do they?
Yeah, I think I've heard that in more than one film.
What's that mean though?
I'm going to be all over you, like the colour white on rice.
You can get. Like...
Obviously, they haven't encountered the pilau or
or the tricolour rice.
A letter I read as well in a paper. It was amazing. It read, the intervention for radicalised young Brits is 10 years too late. And that was it.
That was the letter.
The person wrote in,
That's a text message, isn't it?
Well, yeah, it might have been in the text thing. It was certainly in the letters column of this particular paper. The interventions for young radicalised Brits is 10 years too late. So he's written in, he's texting to say we should travel back in time. I think that's the only point being made there.
Was he writing in to say you'll never stop me now?
There's a really big week in auctions this week.
Okay.
Tracy Emin's bed sold for how much do you reckon, Gaz? Do you know what I'm on about? The unmade bed?
The unmade bed, yeah. It's got to be somewhere in the millions.
Yep, it certainly is in the millions. You've.
Are we talking double figure millions?
Well, there's 7 figures in a million.
No, I mean like.
No, it's not. No.
All right, 3.6.
Nice guess there. It was 2.2 million, wasn't it, Ken?
Yes, it was.
Top notch. Francis Bacon set a record, having work auctioned off this week. It was what was it called? A
triptych. A lot of his work is triptychs. This is a small piece. It's 3 heads of George Dyer.
His lover.
His lover, former lover. So it's like kind of three studies of his face, his expression, whatever. 26.7 was it?
26.7 million pounds. Outdoing a record that he previously owned with another work, which was 22 million, I think.
No, I think it's quite significant that these are small works.
Yeah, they are. They're very
some of Bacon's triptychs are massive. They're huge, like, they're not mural size. They're in frames usually, but they're huge, And I guess typically you'd think that the bigger pieces make more money. There's a quite a famous Bacon triptych of George Dyer. In fact, George Dyer famously, I think they'd broken up, but George Dyer committed suicide the night before a big retrospective opened in Paris.
Right. Okay.
I don't know. I can't remember where in exactly what gallery, but there's a triptych of that of him. I think the left-hand panel. It basically one of the panels on the outside is him vomiting in the sink. One of them's him sat on the toilet, and then the middle one's like him in a doorway, but like receding into the this kind of black ground that he painted.
Sounds awesome. He's your favourite, indie Francis Bacon?
He is my favourite. Yeah, just had a really interesting face. I think that's why Bacon made him so much. A very interesting Interesting character and quite tragic figure as well.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, Bacon is my favourite.
There's some good footage of him though. Really good footage.
George Dyer.
Francis Bacon.
Francis Bacon. Yeah. Have you ever seen the Melvin Bragg interview?
Is that where they go to a restaurant?
It is the one when they go to the restaurant. It's on the eve of a retrospective in the Tate. It's from 1986 or thereabouts. And yeah, like part of it is them in. It's really bizarre. They're in a room that looks like a lecture theatre, but they're in the back by the projector. It's quite strange. Projecting images of his paintings up and like, what do you think about this one and stuff. And some of them he's like, yeah, I wish I'd just burned it. I wish I'd never, because he destroyed a lot of his work, Bacon. He was very like ridiculously passionate about what was seen, what wasn't.
Right.
To the point that there is a story about him that like one of his studios was emptied out and some guy had retrieved from a skip some painting, and then he walked past his gallery and it was in the window, and he went in. No, he went in and bought it and then took it out and like tore it up and stamped on it in the street because he was that passionate about it not being. So he was very much like that. But yeah, really interesting guy. So they're talking about this with these paintings and stuff. Then they go to this restaurant for the interview and stuff. And yeah, Bacon just gets pissed basically.
No,
you got to stand up to try and pour this wine and just ranting. It's brilliant.
There's already champagne when they arrive. I hear like somebody's like called ahead or whatnot, and it's there's champagne like sort of chilling when they arrive. But there's also like his favourite claret and his favourite red as well. And his favourite. So just a lot of wine. Sort of they try and do the interview, and he's sort of from what I've seen and from what people have said about it, Bragg is he's drinking as well, doing his best to sort of not keep up, but just because he's being ushered on by the he's still trying to get the best out of the interview. So by the end, it's like, and it's obvious that Mr. Bacon is a very polarizing figure, and I think we should get a taxi home. Thirdly, auctioned this week were the handwritten lyrics to "Like a Rolling Stone" by Bob Dylan.
Ooh.
What do you reckon?
Or the original ones from him, like actually writing it,
Yeah.
with the changes and things scrubbed out and stuff.
Yep.
That sounds brilliant.
Yeah, that would be quite.
It's in dollars, so you can guess in pounds or in dollars if you like, but it's a nice round figure in dollars.
Okay.
Oh, I think a good good bit. I think someone might pay $3 million for that.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'd say about between 1 and 3.
I think people really passionate about Bob Dylan. I think it's that song in particular is probably one of the greatest songs ever written. It's certainly modern music. I'm happy to say that. I don't know if anyone disagrees.
I'll tell you for now that Gaz is bang on between $1 and $3 million. $2 million.
Wow.
All right, there you go.
Fucking A. This week in history, in 1964, today as a matter of fact, Lyndon Johnson signs the Civil Rights Act, ending segregation in the United States.
Good man.
Yeah. Bit of history made there, and of course we all know Forrest Gump was there.
Yes, he was. Yes,
he was. Well, he was certainly the bit where they tried to stop 2 black students going into a college, I think. And he was there, and he picked up a book. So that's a part of history. On Ken's birthday, which is tomorrow. Way!
Okay.
Happy birthday! How old are you gonna be, Ken?
31.
31. Ouch.
That's
Tell me
about
about
it.
On Ken's birthday in 1844,
I remember it well.
the last pair of orcs is killed
What are orcs?
from Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
What
But
website,
these
what
orcs are-
website did you get this from?
LordofTheRings.com.
Yeah,
It
exactly.
was Lord of the Rings fan site. No, they're 2 great orcs, and they were birds, and they were the last of their kind. They were both killed.
No way.
Yeah,
On purpose?
yeah, on purpose.
What had they done?
Nothing. They thought, no, forget about it.
Oh.
There's only 2 left. They're not going to breed. Kill them. It's the kindest thing to do. Not really, when you think about it.
No.
On your birthday, Ken, in 1996, I'm sure you remember this one, mate. The Stone of Scone is returned to Scotland.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. What's the Stone of Scone?
Stone.
It's a ceremonial stone.
It is a ceremony. So whoever sits on the Stone of Scone is the ruler of Scotland. I think is the King of Scotland.
Can you go? Is there a line?
No.
Where is it?
It's just like I think it's in Stirling. I think.
So they have to stay on the stone, or is it like a 3-second?
Well, no, it would go underneath the throne.
Like a
Right.
3-second rule.
It is. If I'm right, I think it is just.
It was
stone.
used in the coronation of kings of Scotland and then later on kings of all of Great Britain. And it was last used, at the coronation of our own Queen, Elizabeth II,
Okay.
under a throne. So it's uncomfortable then, this throne.
Dawn of Destiny. Oh yeah.
Well, they just say, well, the life of a king or a queen isn't always a glorious one.
Yeah.
This seat's a fucking nightmare, I can tell you.
Yep.
You do rule over all of us, and you own sort of all the swans, and you've got loads of money because of taxes. Yes, but this is some fucking chair, I tell you. This week, in 1910, African-American boxer Jack Johnson beat Jim Jeffries, sparking race riots across the United States. Not the comedian Jim Jeffries.
And not the singer Jack Johnson.
No, not the singer Jack Johnson.
They should recreate that fight.
They should, yeah.
Oh, yeah, an email campaign. If you want to email us, if you want to get in touch for any reason, email thelast7podcast@gmail.com or follow us on Twitter @thelast7. It caused race riots. This guy, Jim Jeffries, was known as the Great White Hope when they were getting towards the match. So it was said that
when was it? Sorry,
1910.
Is this the one that? Yeah, there's someone's written a play about this.
Yeah.
Right, I saw this. Yeah, because the white guy's a professional boxer.
That's right. Yeah,
and the other guy was like a slave, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, certainly.
Massive.
His grandparents certainly were slaves. When I was reading about it, the boxer Jim Jeffries, it said first won the heavyweight title bout after a 25-round contest.
Fucking hell.
Barefisted. But that's what...
Bloody fisted, right?
Yeah.
How many faces left at the end of the show?
That's the thing, right? When it was bare knuckle boxing, there were far fewer deaths than there are boxing gloves. Because with gloves, because your hand is cushioned, it's easier to punch around the head and the face.
Yeah.
But when it was bare knuckles, you used to hit the jaw and the nose and you'd hurt your hands. So it was all about body punches and it was all about wearing your opponent down, being able to take the punishment as well as dish it. 25 fucking 3-minute round. I'm assuming it was 3 minutes.
With a little break in between, yeah.
Yeah, a little break for what was 1910 for a quick cognac and a fucking cigar or something like that. A quick prostitute and then I shall be back on my way. Where's my absinthe? We're going into 20 rounds. Now in with the morphine. Of course there would be morphine there. I'm in pain.
Yeah.
Oh, this'll take the edge off, certainly.
Yeah.
You may not box that well.
A few leeches on the knuckles.
I want to keep my blood. Oh God, yes, I'm sorry.
The longest boxing match with gloves in history was 110 rounds.
Fuck off!
It began around 9 p.m. on the 6th of April 1893 and ended the next day well after 4 a.m. Andy Bowen and Jack Buck fought for 7 hours and 19 minutes in New Orleans.
Jesus
Before the
Christ.
match was eventually deemed no contest when the fighters were too exhausted to continue.
Can you imagine
That
having
decision was
fought...
later changed to a draw.
Yeah, but a draw after that, I suppose it was fair. What would the 4th hour of that fight look like? There's 3 more to go. What do you mean too exhausted to continue? Both like on the floor, nearly dead.
I couldn't even imagine fighting for that. I mean, I can barely do anything for more than 10 minutes.
We've hit the 7-hour mark. I don't know how long I can carry on. You fucking pussy! Oh, I can't get in. Crawling across the ring, just fucking tapping each other. All right, guys. Like that, yeah, 7 hours, and then the guy's stepping in. All right, guys, break it up. Come on.
I think you've had enough now, guys.
Do you think when they announced it as like no contest, do you think when they said, "Oh, it's no contest," that like they got annoyed? Do you think they got much energy up to get
I don't
angry
think
with the
so.
official?
I don't think so.
Yeah,
I think the
maybe.
ref could have easily just explained his decision away by looking at them both, bloodied, bruised, and battered on the floor, and going, "There are no winners here. One of you should have given up yesterday." Did you hear what I said? This is a boxing match, and one of you should have given up yesterday.
At the other extreme, though, we saw a bit of that documentary the other day about wrestling, didn't we?
Oh,
Remember the
yeah.
Big Daddy versus Giant Haystacks.
Oh
that
God,
lasted like
yeah.
20 seconds or
This
whatever it
match
was.
being built up for ages and ages. The two giants, quite
Yeah.
literal giants of British wrestling, Big Daddy and Giant Haystacks. There's been a play written about that as well recently. Called The Shittest Match That Ever Was or something.
Right.
We're all aware of like today's wrestlers, and it's pretty impressive regardless of fakery. And storylines, and a soap opera in tights is what it's called normally, isn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, these guys were just this Big Daddy. He was the guy in the top hat, wasn't he?
He was the older.
That was right. Yeah, he
with
was
white
the
hair.
older chap. Really fat, like pretty much just a fat guy. I think he was just over 6 feet tall, but his stomach butt was one of his special moves, running across and gutting it. And this other guy, Giant Haystacks, was just a giant. Again, fat, but he was huge. I mean,
Yeah.
he was like 6'8", 6'9", something like that.
Huge beard,
Yeah, he looked like a haystack, essentially. A giant haystack.
Yeah.
And they had a match at Wembley Stadium, the match to end all matches. These two colossal men. And it lasted for a couple of minutes. They ran at each other, did a stomach butt. Ran at each other, did another stomach butt. One of them got one of them in a headlock. That was reversed.
Right.
And then Big Daddy chucked giant haystacks over the ropes, and he was counted out.
Just couldn't climb back in.
That seemed to be the way, but
there wasn't enough purchase. The ropes
no, he was just on the floor for like the Irish wrestling, where they just lie on the floor and they just go funnily enough, like an upturned tortoise.
All right. Yes.
But then they managed to get in on the count of 9.5. I love the wrestling count as well, because in boxing a guy gets hit down and he goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the definite sort of instructions. I've seen wrestling recently, and I was a huge fan in my youth. They're both out of the ring, or one of them, they're both out for the count. 1, 2.
Is this
crowd's like woo?
Is this WWF wrestling?
Yeah,
WWE. As it's now called.
3.
Yeah, that is just theatre, isn't it?
It's amazing, though. It's absolutely amazing.
It's a pantomime dance.
Yeah, and pantomimes are great.
Yeah, and I mean they do get
a man dressed in women's clothing, eh?
When me and my brother were younger, we watched a bit of wrestling and went out into the garden, and we had like sort of like metal garden table thing, and we decided it was perfectly safe and fine to climb up on top of this. It's quite a small table. We were young though, so it was probably a bit bigger than it was, but we basically got on top of that and we were wrestling, but we also had a washing line that was going up through there as well, and we started using that as some sort of way of like trying to strangle each other.
I imagine this looking so dangerous.
Yeah, I'm surprised the neighbours didn't come round because they could see into the garden what we were doing.
Neighbours hated you. They were like, one of them was going to get badly
just
hurt,
placing bets and stuff. But I managed to actually get the washing line up over my brother's head, down behind him, and then let go, and it sort of whacked back into the back of his knees, so his legs just went, and he went flying backwards off the table onto the floor, concrete floor. And I was just like, oh shit, I'm in so much trouble. But fair play to him, he was quite a good older brother in that respect. He just got up and went, don't worry about it, but let's go inside. I was like, okay,
shaking, just that trailer. But maybe we should go to the hospital. Nah, we'll just get in trouble. We'll like grab me some ice. There's a good kid.
Yeah, we'll go inside. We'll play Street Fighter, and I'll let you win a few times. Yeah, is that fair?
Yeah, that's more than fair. I remember that. If you heard anybody as a kid and saying "soz" would make it all better. Soz was just that quick. Soz.
Soz drives me nuts.
Did you ever go as a kid?
Yeah.
Somebody did something naughty. Or somebody swore. Swearing was the ultimate one.
Yeah.
Why don't you go away, you shithead?
Do you think any of those neighbours like look back fondly on those wrestling matches in the garden? Do you think someone's like, the WWE's on, and like, it's not as good as those old...
Yeah.
When those two kids were beating the shit out of each other.
Morgan v. Morgan, 1988.
Oh, it's amazing. Yeah, popcorn. It's Saturday. They're out. Their parents have gone out. It's fine. We'll see those kids next door try and kill each other.
Yeah, call us into the garden, try and goad us into fucking having a fight.
Just over the fence. I heard your brother called you fat. So I'm not saying it's just it's going around the neighbourhood. He just doesn't like you. He said that the last time you won was because you cheated with the washing line.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I think you should know because I'm your friend.
Yeah, you might.
How old were you at the time?
I don't know, about 8.
I could imagine as well, like your parents coming home early from wherever they are. And it's like all people around the garden, around the fence, and something.
What the hell is going on here?
Big foam hands and everything. Rip his head off.
Fireworks.
Yeah, it's a good job we arrived as the entrance music started. Otherwise, I don't know how we would have saved Gareth from another absolute pummeling. As you bust in, pummeling. I'll show you pummeling next Saturday night on top of the table. Okay? You said I won by a fluke the last time with a washing line. I'm gonna kick your ass.
Come on, now,
Get to bed. Get to bed.
Turn off the smoke machines and get to bed.
Take off that ridiculous costume. Go to bed.
Why are you wearing my bikini?
Yeah. The tranny wears a bikini, mum, okay? The tranny. I was the Transformer originally, and then my arc went a bit gay, and now...
But the tranny is totally comfortable with who she is.
Right, Hero of the Week. We've got a couple of nominations. Cunt of the Week nominations, far surpassing those. Hero of the Week was your rude hotel guy, right?
Yeah, the anti-hero, yeah.
Yeah, the anti-hero.
Yeah.
I was thinking about this
Yeah.
throughout the week, especially because last week you pointed out that a lot of them were people who were dying. And
Yeah,
it was like
that's right, yeah. All of
bit
our Heroes
sad.
of the Week have been dead so far.
we were recognising that. So this week I was going to suggest Kevin Smith.
Oh, of course.
I think he's quite hardworking.
Yeah,
I think he's someone I really admire for just being himself.
Yeah.
I think he offers a lot of kind of comfort to a lot of people. Like, it's okay to be a geek and stuff. People talk about this rise in geek culture. I think he was the forerunner of that in the 90s.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Just be yourself. Be as honest as you want to be in a public forum.
Yeah.
I think he's an interesting writer.
We were saying as well that I don't think there's anybody that's that indifferent about Kevin Smith and his work. Individual films, perhaps, but at least he's just churning out, as you say, really busy, really hard working.
As I think he's someone that he made Clerks when he was whatever it is 20.
Yeah.
In the early 20s or
Yeah,
something.
Easily, yeah.
And this is like his drive to do it. It was his dream thing. And didn't he have like loads of credit cards that he kept maxing out and
Yep.
and
He
various
said
things?
that we can say this because he said it, so it's fine.
Yeah, well, if he said it, then it's fine. It's not
That's right. When he was working at Quick Stop, he got the credit cards by putting down that he was the manager of Quick Stop and that he, earned sort of $50,000 a year or whatever.
Yeah.
So that he could get these credit cards and then he'd just give them the number to the store when he was working there all the time. He'd just go, hello? He was like, yeah, we're looking at this Kevin Smith. Oh, he's the manager and stuff. Yeah, no, he's out. He's probably on a business trip or something in his, Mercedes. And then he was able to get the credit cards. And then his parents lent him the last $2,000, I think. Something like that, $2,000 or $3,000.
I think it was either his parents or Scott Mosher's parents.
Right, okay.
And it was one or the other, but yeah, definitely. They went to their families for some help.
That's the story of his mum seeing it and saying, you spent 20-odd thousand on this crap, But I just really admire the fact that he did that. But his thing is all like getting his friends in, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
He goes to a comic shop, and in Comic Book Men's just him and they're like all his mates, and everything's about sort of sharing the love,
Yeah.
And I think the other thing I'd say about his films, that someone that occurs to me, especially this sort of the early series, like you've got Clerks, Mallrats, Chasing Amy, Dogma, Jane Silent Bob Strike Back.
Yep.
And then you got Clerks 2 afterwards, but I'd say up to that. Like, people talk now about like Marvel's movieverse and in cinema, and the fact that sort of copying that comic book model in the way that you get different stories and films feed into each other and they all come together in the Avengers and stuff.
Yeah.
Kevin Smith did that first.
Hell
And I'm
yeah.
not saying he's the first ever to do it, I don't know, but he weaved a shared universe through several films and then brought loads of the characters together for Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. Now, it's not his best film, but he did that before.
Yeah, I watched. I had an overload really because after Babylon, because I thought, well, that might be the pinnacle. But I came back and all I wanted to do was listen to that particular show, obviously.
Yeah.
Really?
And then I just read a load of comics and then watched Clerks 2 and Chasing Amy, because those are the two that I hadn't seen sort of the most recently. I watched Clerks quite recently. Yeah. So and they're fucking great.
Chasing Amy is a brilliant film, I think.
One thing that he was doing afterwards with us, when we were, getting stuff signed, and I did think about maybe asking him to do it for you guys, because he was actually, people were handing in their phones, and he was recording a soundbite to introduce their podcast.
Oh, right, awesome.
But I was thinking of doing that, but then I wasn't sure, and so I didn't.
Right, that's definitely being cut, because that's the worst thing that you could have told me. That
What's the worst thing that's happened to you this week, Dan?
Oh, well, a so-called friend of mine.
Plus, to be fair, I didn't have a great deal of memory left on my phone. So I only had enough to
delete some other stuff.
Yeah, delete some other stuff. Some photos of your missus or something. Probably loads of them. How many times are you going to get this opportunity? You piece of shit.
Well, we can email him.
You've ruined this. You've ruined this whole evening. It's been going really well. We've easily hit the hour mark. Not a problem. This is finished. Still got cunts of the week to come. And you land this fucking mud monkey in my lap.
Looks
I
like
could have done this, but I didn't.
I didn't know whether or not, if you'd already done it. And I didn't know.
What the fuck? Double up on that shit. I might have already done it. Fuck it. Somebody might have washed my car tomorrow when I wake up, but I fucking doubt it. Don't have a car for a start.
Well, I'm not going to wash your car just in case.
Yeah.
There's a load more nominees for Cunt of the Week than there are for Hero of the Week. Kevin Smith figures in this as well. Not because he's a Cunt of the Week, because we did the recording for this a week ago, and we mentioned Felix Dennis, who had died. He was my hero of the week, and we put some poetry on afterwards.
Yep.
He's brilliant, man. And they mentioned him in Tinseltown Stiffs. So obviously they've listened to this podcast, and you know they've stolen that from us. So I thought that I'd return the favour and get hold of Cunt of the Week, Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah.
So Shia LaBeouf was in a theatre watching Cabaret.
Yeah.
And he
Studio
was...
54.
Oh yeah, that's right, yeah.
No, Theatre 54 it's called.
Theatre 54. And he was smoking a joint, and he was slapping people's asses as they walked past.
Yeah.
So he was ejected, and then he was kicking off with the security first of all.
He refused to leave, didn't he?
Well, he refused to leave, and then he was ejected, and the police were called. And he had a go at the police, first of all saying that he had millions of dollars and that he would end their careers, then that he would fuck them up.
And then he was in the army.
And then he said he was in the army. So, yeah, a complete mess there. So...
Well, it was other stuff, wasn't it? Because he handcuffed, he was spitting at the police, and
that's right. Yeah. That was right. When he was handcuffed, he was saying, "I'm going to fuck you up." Again, this was all covered in Babylon.
Yeah.
Just repeating what we heard.
Yeah, go and listen to that.
So Shia LaBeouf is one nominee. Josie Cunningham, she was the wannabe model who, first of all, became infamous when she had a boob job on the NHS because she said that smaller boobies were not getting her modelling work. She then, in the paper earlier this year, said that she was going to have an abortion because she'd been offered to go on Big Brother. Caused uproar. I actually read a good sort of article about that, though, that was sort of explaining a woman's right to choose, and that regardless of reasoning, if you supported a woman's right to choose, then you have to support her right to choose.
Yeah.
You can question the motives behind it, obviously, but it's a different topic if you're just talking about an unborn child.
Yeah, I think with that though, it's because it's Big Brother, and it feeds into people's kind of fear about, this horrible clamouring for celebrity.
Yeah, it is awful.
That's just based on going on to these type of shows,
But you'll be able to have this all explained because Josie Cunningham is writing an autobiography.
Oh, what a surprise!
Yeah.
Another one.
There's also stories about her sponging sort of $6,000 a year to take her kids to school in a taxi because she suffers from anxiety. There's a lot of things.
Yeah, because she's a target and the kids would get abuse, and it's all about protecting them, apparently.
There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot to go on. So there's a few things where I don't think she deserves a lot of hate for, but certainly the autobiography, just thinking about it quickly and just saying, what on earth can you have to say up until this point?
Is she working as a prostitute until
recently? Oh yeah, it said
recently
she was working as a £1,000 a night prostitute, which I have difficulty believing. But that's the reason she got pregnant.
That might be quite interesting, some of that.
Yeah.
But if she's suffering from this anxiety, and she's still pushing to put herself in the public eye, surely that can't end well. No,
and it sort of goes against her feelings of anxiety.
That's why it's in the paper, though, isn't it? Because it's like, this is clearly just bullshit.
Yeah.
And it's costing the taxpayer money, and that's... Again, that's
so you're a taxpayer, you're angry about it.
It's a perfect tabloid story for that reason.
Jennifer Butler, this week in the paper,
right?
Because she's going to leave her 3 children in the UK while she goes to America to set up home with a prisoner that she's going to marry. He's a burglar, and he was sentenced to 12 years, and he's only served 3, I think. So he's up for parole.
Armed burglary, isn't it?
Armed burglary, yeah. So he's up for parole, so he may not be released. But she's going over there just in case he is, so they can set up home. She's leaving her 3 kids at home, and says, "For me to leave the kids must mean what I have with Chris is very important."
Yeah.
Oh man,
I'm laughing because of the expression that
Gareth
making here.
There's a disbelief in Gareth's face.
I imagine it's what my face looked like when I first read it.
Yeah.
That's just awful.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? I'm not saying 'cause he's a prisoner he can't reform or anything like that. I've got nothing against the relationship or anything at all.
No, it's the amazing, the kind of circular logic that she's put to it.
That's right. I'm leaving my kids. That's terrible. Or is it because I love him so much that I'm leaving my kids?
Yeah.
That's also terrible.
There was that guy, wasn't there, who was he did some sort of armed robbery, I think, and he was sentenced to go to prison for about 13 years, something like that. And they proved him guilty and everything, and that was that. But they didn't actually put him in prison, and he just stayed out of prison. They forgot to put him in.
Fucking hell! That's
yeah.
amazing.
And
I sentenced you to. Oh, my holiday started. I'll nip back.
It was only when they went to release him they found out he was never there in the first place. And now they found him, And because he did keep in touch with his parole officers and all that sort of stuff, kept them updated on where his location was.
Yeah,
and
he
all that
didn't
sort
do
of stuff.
anything wrong, surely.
No.
Not that time.
Right.
But then they caught up with him, and then they put him in prison because he needed to serve his sentence.
Oh, shit!
Now, I can't remember exactly what's happened. I think he has been released now because there was a massive sort of like, you can't do that. You can tell he's obviously reformed, he's done this, he's done that. You know, it might be
Keeping in touch with his parole officer. How's prison? I'm not in prison. I'm in Wyoming.
Yeah.
It's lovely. I've started off this little business. Everything's going well.
I
should really go back to prison. Yeah, but I don't want to. That's the thing, and everything's fine here. So
Yeah. Send them holiday snaps with Mickey Mouse and all that, just to let you know.
yeah.
But they did.
His passport, getting bleeped through. It says here he's supposed to be in prison, but you're not. So I guess go on ahead.
Yeah. It's alright.
Acapulco. Enjoy it.
Yeah. But it's absolutely crazy. But they said like because of everything that he's done for the community, helped everyone. He does like charity work and all this sort of stuff as well. I think.
Right.
I mean, it's a bit hazy. It was a while ago now this happened, but yeah. From what I gather, I think he's back out now.
Cornelius Michael Mike Anderson III, convicted of armed robbery in 2000 and sentenced to 13 years in Missouri State Prison System.
Well recalled, Gareth.
Shortly after his conviction, he was released on bail pending the outcome of an appeal to his conviction. In May 2002, his appeal was ultimately rejected and his bond should have been revoked with a warrant issued for his arrest, but it was not. It's unclear why he was not arrested in prison to serve his 13-year sentence, but apparently due to clerical errors and miscommunication, the Missouri Department of Corrections thought he was already in prison. The error was only discovered when he was scheduled to be released from prison in 2013. On July the 25th, 2013, he was arrested and required to serve his 13-year sentence. The case stirred controversy when investigative articles were written in the Riverfront Times newspaper and when his case was covered nationally in the United States in an episode of This American Life. By April 2014, his case began receiving extensive national and international attention. These articles and the episode raised the question of whether he should be returned to prison 13 years after his conviction, especially since the victim of his crime does not believe that he should be in prison.
Holy shit! That's well cool.
Yeah. Anderson's attorney has filed several appeals and petitions for his release from prison. On May the 5th, 2014, Anderson was released from prison. Subsequent analysis has pointed to deficiencies in American prison systems to rehabilitate criminals, and the mandatory criminal sentences exacerbate problems of rehabilitation as well as result in monetary and social costs to society.
So, American prison. Cunt of the week. My last nomination for Cunt of the Week is the vet, David Denny, who put down a Jack Russell that was taken in to receive some antibiotics.
The guy the dog had a persistent cough, is that right?
That's right, yeah.
And I think he'd been into the vet, they'd taken this dog to the vet previously, hadn't they?
Yeah.
And it wasn't clearing up, so he took it back, and he's there with the vet who's giving him an injection. Doesn't say anything what I'm doing and stuff, and the guy assumes it's antibiotics. He gives the dog this injection and says, "Do you want to take him and bury him at home? Or do you want us to dispose of the corpse?" And the guy's like, "What are you talking about? I killed the little Jack Russell."
Oh man, I've always had Jack Russells when I was growing up, so that hit me really hard. Because I thought, can you fucking imagine? Like
He's
that.
a cute, lovely looking little
Of course,
fella.
there you go, Shep. In you go, son. That's alright, I've seen a little bit.
So hold on.
Do you want to take him home and bury him, or do you want me to dispose of the corpse? What the fuck have you done? Put him to sleep. The nicest thing to do. What?
So let me get this straight. They took the dog in. The vet didn't say anything. He just injected them. Yeah, didn't say a word. But did he also work in a hotel at all? It's the same guy, just moonlighting. They're a bit light on the staff that day, and he just turns out. Fuck
brilliant.
these guys. Dog? Right.
Oh, what a beautiful, healthy puppy. I'm going to have to put him down. Who are we going for, man? We going for Shia LaBeouf, Josie Cunningham, David Denny, or Jennifer Butler?
It's tough. The vet.
It's a mistake.
It's a mistake, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
It can't be the vet. I bet that vet is torn up, man.
Shia LaBeouf?
Shia LaBeouf is definitely up on the high runner. But I mean, it's already been covered in Babylon, so
yeah,
it's already
right.
someone's
Yeah,
done.
that's right.
So
Josie Cunningham?
yeah, I think so.
You reckon?
I think Josie Cunningham's just full of shit.
Josie Cunningham, you are this week's Cunt of the Week.
Horrible cunt.
Alright, I want to thank my co-participants for this evening. Gareth Morgan.
Thank you very much for having me, dude.
Kenneth Trainer again.
Thank you very much for having me again.
No worries whatsoever. If you want to get in touch, you can email thelast7podcast@gmail.com or follow us on Twitter @thelast7. The Last 7 podcast was recorded at my flat, edited at my flat, with additional material by Punra and DJ Alchemy.
Really sorry.
Fucking want to be, mate. Jesus H. Christ.
Funnier this way, though.
It is, yeah. Yeah, hilarious. I'm elated.